So I am coming to you from my phone. And yeah, it can be quite tricky trying to get onto StreamYard on your phone. For those of you catching us for the second time, welcome! We did try the first time, but somebody called and disrupted the call, the interview, and we lost. We couldn't connect. But anyway, we are back. Thank you so much to all of you who are here who watched the first one and are here. And if you're on my page for the first time, welcome, Karibu Sana. My name is Angy, and I am the face behind this Facebook page. I am a digital entrepreneur, and I help people to start digital businesses by providing them with the tools, the systems, the products, the training, and ongoing mentorship they need to succeed as digital entrepreneurs. Being a Wednesday, I bring on board some of my business partners to come and share with us their journeys to digital entrepreneurship. And today I've got my business partner all the way from the UK who's joining us. So without further ado, let me bring on here Beena.
Hello.
Hey Beena, how are you doing?
Good morning.
Good, good. So to all our viewers who are watching us and those who are going to be watching replays, drop comments in the comment section. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you've got any questions, do ask and we'll respond to your questions. Dina, could you introduce yourself to our viewers today?
Yes, yeah. Hi, good morning, everyone. I live in London and it's only 8:30 in the morning here. And it is very cold and I was just getting ready to go to work. So I got my hot cup of tea to keep me warm actually. Until I go. Yeah. So I'm originally from South India. I've been working as a nurse in UK last 16 years. I live with my husband and my two boys. The eldest one is in year 7, 11 years old, and the little one is only 2.5 years old.
Wow, they must keep you very active.
Yeah, they must keep on the go all the time. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
How did you manage during the lockdowns with 2 kids in school and daycare?
Yeah,
Lockdown meant there were no schools.
Yes, yeah, but it was very difficult, but we have to manage. Somehow, with God's help, we managed with my friends and my husband. We took turns to look after the children. It was
good.
Yeah, but we didn't have to depend on so many people. We somehow, yes, yeah, we managed, and that is a good thing.
It is. I mean, you see the value of community in times like that, don't you?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah. People are there to help you out when you need to. And, having good friends is always wonderful. They are there for you all the time. Yes, yeah.
So, how did you become a digital entrepreneur? How did you get to know about it?
Yes, yeah. So I wanted to do something to work from home all the time. I've been looking for it last good few years actually. But before I started the digital business, I'm quite creative in doing things. So I used to do the baking and I make the cake and to try to sell to people to make the extra cash. And I like bottle art. If you look on my Facebook page as well, I like bottle art. So I was doing all bottle art and trying to do as a business, but it was quite difficult. like I enjoy the nature. So I have a big garden, and I grow it from the seeds, and try to sell the plants too.
Yeah.
I've been into all sort of things too, because
Interesting.
apart from the nursing, I think that always you need to have some other creativity to keep you going. Otherwise, you will be just stuck with one thing in your life, and once you retire, you go into depression because you don't have nothing else to do. Life becomes so stagnant. So I tried.
Interesting, you should say that,
Yeah.
because I was actually the exact opposite of you. I never had a side hustle.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
basically had my corporate job, and that
Yeah.
was it. And
Yes.
the reason for that was I never understood how people manage to do
Two
full-time
things.
job plus then come back home exhausted
Yeah.
and try and do something else.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, I mean, people around me who were into side hustles didn't seem to be making a lot of money out of those
Yes.
side hustles.
Yeah.
So I just said to myself, I don't see the need to do that
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
obviously the pandemic hit and I decided to have a side hustle. Now,
Yes. Yeah.
you've always had side hustles.
Yes. The reason.
Why were you looking for another one?
Yeah, because always, like, I think I'm a migrant in here, so always we have two homes. That is what I always think. Here we have your husband and children. Then at home you have in your own family, in the sense your parents, your siblings,
Yeah.
your husband family. And friends who I know who are in trouble. So always I like to help people. So always I think that if I have a side hustle, that money I can use that money to help people. That is what always I think.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I earn, I try to give that away to people who are in need.
Yeah.
Apart from my own needs, part of that I try to give it to them. So that is me. That is me.
Excellent.
But
So
what I
what
like you
difference?
said, like you said, you were telling me that your friends had side hustles, but you didn't see much income coming in, so you
Yeah.
thought, "Oh, you should do that." From my experience, as I said, I have done different things last good years. I didn't see the same too. I was working, but I think when you do like that, you don't really put your 100% effort into it. So you don't see the benefit of it. So then I
Yeah.
thought I should try different things. So I was going from one to another, not focusing on what I am doing. I wasn't really consistent in what I was doing. So then I thought, no, this is not right, because these are the things
Mm.
I can attract people only locally. Yeah, the
Yeah.
things I'm doing, I can attract people only locally. So I thought I need to think about in a wide picture where I can attract people from around the world. So then I was looking, then I saw this business. Then people were commenting that, oh, this you can do from anywhere, anytime, any part of the world. You need only a laptop and a mobile phone. I thought, yes,
Yeah.
that is perfect. That is what I need. So then I watched, when one of my friend told me, then I watched the 90 minutes webinar. Then at the end they say that if you wanted to proceed, you need to pay 149 US dollars. I thought, okay, let me try. And the good thing was that they said, okay, if you want to, you can take that as a 30 days free trial. So
Yeah.
that, oh, there is nothing to lose. So I jumped in for that 30 days free trial. Then I watched the pre-coaching videos. I thought, oh, this is what I was looking for all these years. So I just went forward, and I did what I have to do. I followed the training. Then I go to my own website, as people can see, like Angy and I have. Then I started my business. Everything was given, all the training, everything is video based. I wasn't a social person. Like a year ago, I never thought I would be able to do what I'm doing today, to go on live from people around the world. I wasn't confident. I was a little bit shy. I didn't see the point of doing it. I thought, this is not for me. But joining
Yeah.
business has helped me my personal development as well as my financial and the time freedom. So these are the three things. Sometimes you can't just look for money, you can't just look for your happiness. Everything goes hand in hand. And that is what I found in this business. If you put your 100 percentage, so from my previous experience, having the other side hustle, um, I thought, I didn't give my 100 percentage there. I wasn't consistent. Even though I was passionate about what I was doing, I think I just did that as my hobby, rather than anything else. I bake, we eat, as you can see. And, I enjoy plants. We got all the plants outside and we go outside in our garden and enjoy. Say, oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. The time went like that. I wasn't like sort of earning anything as much as I expected because I didn't give my 100 percentage.
So
But
if you
this,
look back,
yes,
Beena, if you look back, when you look back to the side hustles that you did, baking cakes and all that, versus being a digital entrepreneur now, why do you feel the need to be more consistent? Because you're talking about how you were not consistent with your other side hustles and
yeah.
you didn't put too much effort into them. Why is it that with this particular one, you have found the need or the energy to put in lots of
Yeah,
effort and be more consistent with it?
yeah, because I think, from my experience, as I said, if you want to achieve your dreams, you need to be consistent, you need to be committed, you need to
Mm-hmm.
really focus on what you are doing. And I think, when we talk to different people, and from my experience too, what I have learned is that people start something, and when you start something, you come with so much of enthusiasm. Then after a while, that slowly fade away. When you don't see the
Yeah.
result the way you want to, then you think, oh, no, 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 you go like that. Then everything is like slowly fade away. So when I started this, I thought, no, this is my last resort of my
Yeah.
side hustle, and this is from around the world, which I have to really, can have business partners from around the world. So I said to myself, this I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit like which the other the traditional business which I was trying to do. I'm not going to quit this. I will continue with my
Yeah.
perseverance, and I will win. I can see so many people are doing, and I can see the result in myself now. Luckily, I'm so glad that I can see the result in myself. So I'm so proud for what I am doing today.
I'm so proud of you too.
Thank you.
Vinna, so for our business, we do use social media marketing, and you just mentioned that you were not a social media person. Now, people would wonder, do can somebody who's not into social media, who probably has maybe just 100 people following them on their page, can they succeed in this business?
Oh, definitely, definitely. If you look at, you don't need to have so many followers to succeed because we are doing the marketing through the social media. So all the social medias, you are doing the marketing. So you don't need to have many followers for you to succeed. That is the good thing about this business. Always people think that, you need to go live on your page, or, you need to be so active. You don't have to. We can see that so many people who don't do any of those things
Yeah,
but just do the marketing, and they are sitting at the top. They are not tech savvy. They didn't have no clue how to post anything on the Facebook. People have started the business in their 60s, in their 70s, and
yeah.
when they are 18 too. I'm sure the 18 will know everything what to do because the technology is so fast, and the youngsters are so good with the technology. But in your 50s, 60s, we are a little bit slow. I'm in my 40s. I'm a little bit slow sometime in what I'm doing. I'm learning. I ask people, or I go to YouTube or Google and search, how do I do this? These sort of things. And not only that, all the training is given, whatever you need. That is with this $149 you pay, that is covered. If you plan to go ahead, all the trainings is covered for the lifetime, 24/7
Yeah.
training. So you don't need to worry about whether you are a tech savvy, whether you are a social person. No. If you want to succeed in your life, you take that step, you take that action. No one can change your life until you make that change within yourself. That is what I tell everybody, and to myself too. You can tell so many things to people until you yourself made that change. No one can do the change for you.
So you
Yes.
touched on getting training, and like you and I, we don't have any experience in social media marketing or even just running a digital business. You're a nurse whose side hustles involved baking and selling cakes. So how does that experience that you had translate to you being able to run a successful digital business?
Yeah, I think that experience has really helped me actually to look back and reflect on what I was doing wrong there.
Mhm.
Always people wanted to start something, then they halfway through they lose the motivation and the interest. And always what happens in our life is that so much negativity around us. When we have the
Yeah,
negativity, you are pulled back to that negativity, and then you slow down. Once you slow down, you lost the track of it. People will tell you, the people you are mingling with, or people will say, oh, why are you doing this, why are you doing this, why are you doing this, or do you need to do this? When you hear all these things, or people will tell you so much negativity, you lose, you doubt yourself sometime. Think, oh,
yeah,
can I do this? And I think that is what happens to people, are so wanting to have the change, but the negativity stops people.
it does. And
Mm.
so, how does our training then help people to become more
Positive
knowledgeable,
mindset.
more experienced?
Yeah, the so we once you become the business partner, you have the training 2 times a week. The trainings you can attend, live, or you can watch the replay and learn. And always there will be trainings. There are platforms where you can communicate with the people from around the world, so there is nothing to
Hmm.
worry about. Yes. So
Excellent.
I was quite impressed actually, the system we have, and how you can do this. Everything is in there. You don't need to look out anywhere else.
So, what has been your major challenge running this digital business?
I think that the challenge always is that, learning the plug into the system. When you work full time, you got to do little kids, the husband go to work, when the time constraints, the time management is the main issue sometime.
Yeah.
So I have to set myself, I have to say, okay, this day I'm going to do this. Like this morning, I start my work at 9 o'clock, but I agreed to do the interview with you at 8 o'clock. So I have the time in the morning to do what I want to do, then go to work. So
Hmm.
when I know that I have to do things, I set myself, the time management. I think that is the main thing. And you just plug into the system and follow the training, you will
Yeah.
succeed.
Excellent. So
Yeah.
it is a challenge that is not insurmountable because you can always learn a new skill on how to manage it. So time
Yes, yeah.
management skills.
Yes,
So how
yeah.
many hours do you spend running your business in a
I try
day?
to use like, some days I use 1 to 2 hours. Sometimes I use
Hmm.
more, like weekends when I'm not working, I try to do more. Some days when I'm tired, and if something in the house going on, then I don't do nothing at all. So
Yeah.
there is no target to meet. Everything is flexible. You are not pushed to do anything because you own the business. You are the owner
True.
of the business. So you choose what you want to do, how you want to do, when you want to do. That is the beauty of this.
It is so true because yesterday, you know what? My son is on holiday, so it's already Christmas holidays for him. And yesterday I decided to take him out for the day. And I was sat on my computer for the first part of the morning, and then he came and was like, Mommy, it's time to go. And so I'm like, okay. We packed up and we went, came
Yeah,
back at 5 p.m. So it was a whole day out of the house, not working on anything, just enjoying the time with my
yes,
son.
yeah.
But my business was running in the background.
Yes, that is the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. Like, when you go to work and come back, then you get this email to say that you got a business partner, or when you wake up
Yeah.
in the morning, because this runs in from around the world. So, when you are sleeping, I always tell people, you want to have a business which runs when you are sleeping. If you have to work hard throughout 24/7 for your business, then you are not making any money.
No, you're not.
You need to have a business where it runs when you are sleeping.
Good.
Yeah.
So, parting words, what would you say to those who are probably like me, who have never had side hustles and are thinking, "Ugh, why do I need one?" Or probably like you, who've had side hustles that have taken so much of their time but have brought very little in terms of financial reward. What can you say to them?
Yeah, I would, my advice too, from my experience, to everybody is that, try this. You can register with the Angys website, and then opt in for this $149 for a 30-day risk-free trial, and see whether it suits you. You are not going to lose nothing. People are so
Yeah.
scared to pay the 149, thinking that they are going to lose that money. You will never use that money. You can request yourself for a refund if you are not happy with it. If you don't need to do nothing at all, you can request yourself. So, don't wait. The opportunity is there in front of you. Just take it. I What came to my mind, I was going to say that today, but we were talking and then I just got distracted. I just want to tell you one thing, Angie. I went for a Christmas celebration in the school with my son. Yeah. Yes.
Continue.
Are you okay?
I'm all right. My phone fell.
Ah, okay. Is it working now?
Hey, Bina.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I don't know
So,
why it just went off.
not to worry. These things do happen. Not to worry about it. It's
Oh
natural.
God.
Especially when you
It
are
is
used to.
fun having an interview over my mobile phone. Really exciting.
Yeah. You have to teach me how to do it. Yeah.
Anyway, so you were
Yeah.
giving us
Yeah, so I was saying was that yesterday I happened to go to the school with my son because we had a Christmas celebration there, mulled wine and mince pie and Christmas carol singing and a show as well. So the Christmas message was that about being in the dark, and then you have the somebody comes to you with the light to give you light in your life.
yeah.
And I was thinking about that ourselves, that, we can make change to people. You can give the candle to people to have, to bring out that darkness and to give the light to them. But if they are not happy to accept that candle, then what would you do? You can't bring light to them. They
No.
still, they still live in the dark. And we
That's
can
so
make,
true.
we can make changes to people, but if people are not happy to accept, still they wanted to be in that dark, it's very difficult. So my
It
advice
is.
to, yeah, so my advice to everybody is that take this candle and see whether you can see the light.
So how do they get to our webinar?
Yes, yeah. Register our website, register Angie's website. It is clearly there. Connect with us and we will help you.
Excellent. Thank you
All
so much, Beena. This has been
yeah,
so much fun.
yeah,
All
all the
the
struggle.
faux pas and all. It has been very lovely having you on here. And
Thank you
thank you
very
so
much
much for
for having
sharing your
me.
journey with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us and listening to Beena sharing her story to digital entrepreneurship. If you're like Beena and you've tried everything to supplement your income, but have never got to the point where you feel like you've reached financial freedom or time freedom, do check out our online business because our business is built to guarantee people financial and time freedom. And if those are the two things you're looking for, then this is the business for you. As Bina said, after you've registered on my website or on hers and you watch that webinar, it's 90 minutes long. After you've watched it and you decide that you want to know more about this business, you'll be requested to pay a $149 once-off fee, which comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. Should you decide that this is not what you're looking for, you can get your money back. But as Beena and I are still here, we found this invaluable, so we stayed. We would be more than delighted to hold your hands and help you crush your goals. So click on my link now and register for that live webinar. If you cannot watch the live one, a replay link will be sent to you, which you can watch at your own convenience. So have a great day, guys. It has been wonderful being here with you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. So bye for now.